Just as you can multiply the outcome of separate events to find the total outcome of many events happening, you can multiply probabilities of separate events to find the overall probability of many things happening. So let's try these problems by multiplying fractions. Make sure you explain what each fraction stands for. Okay, if I roll 2 dice, what's the probability of rolling 2 even numbers? Well, let's look at each event one at a time. So if I look at the first event, I'm rolling the first die. What's the probability I roll an even number? Well, there are 6 sides to the die, and 3 of them are even numbers, 2, 4, and 6. All right. What's the probability that the next one I roll is an even number? Here's my next event. I have 3 over 6, and I multiply those. Both of those fractions, 3, 6, can be reduced to 1/2. So I multiply the two probabilities, 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. And the probability of rolling 2 even numbers is 1 out of 4. There's my answer. All right, if I roll 2 dice, what's the probability of rolling an odd number and then a 4? So we've got 2 events happening, the first roll and the second roll. And we have to just find the probability of rolling an odd number in the first circle and a probability of rolling a 4 in the second circle, and then multiply those together. Go ahead and try that. So multiplying 3, 6 is the probability of rolling an odd number, and 1, 6, there's only 1, 4 that you can get out of a total of 6. 3, 6 can be reduced to 1/2, and then I multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 6 is 12. The probability of rolling an odd number and then a 4 is 1 out of 12. All right, if I have a jar with 6 green, 4 red, and 2 blue marbles, what's the probability of first picking a red marble? So that's the first thing I'm going to have happen. Putting it back and then picking a red marble again. So there's another probability for the next event happening. So first I have to count the total number of marbles. I have 6 and 4 is 10 plus 2 is, I've got 12 marbles. So the probability that I pick a red marble at the beginning, out of 12, there are 4 red marbles, so it's 4 out of 12. Now I put it back. Now there's still 12 marbles in there, and 4 of them are still red for the second marble, and so I can reduce both of these fractions down. Every single one of these is divisible by 4. So I can take this and make that 1/3, and make this 1/3, multiply 1/3 times 1/3, and I get 1/9 as the probability of picking 2 red marbles in a row doing that. Okay, see if you can answer B and C on your own, and then check with me. All right, so when we have the picking a red marble is 4 out of 12, picking a green marble is 6 out of 12, we multiply those together, we will get 1 out of 6. Green marble is 6 out of 12. Putting it back, another green marble is 6 out of 12. These both reduce down to 1/2, so when I multiply 1/2 times 1/2, I get 1/4. All right, I skipped the previous page here. You're welcome to read through that at the example that's on there. But if you're feeling pretty confident, then just go ahead and move on to this page here. All right, so the chart below gives a number of each type of chocolate that 2 boxes of candy contain. A milk chocolate is chosen at random, and then a dark chocolate is chosen at random. Find the probability for each of the following. All right, again, we need to know the total amount here. So the total amount of milk chocolate is, we got 4 with nuts, 6 with fruit, 2 with plain. That adds up to 12 total pieces of milk chocolate, and then 2 plus 6 ends up as 14 for dark chocolate. Okay, those are our totals, and we need that to help out. So what's the probability that I have a milk chocolate with nuts, okay, which is going to be, there's 4 out of 12, and then a dark chocolate with fruit, and that's going to be 6 out of 14, and I'm just going to multiply those two fractions together. And so I will do, milk chocolate with nuts was, I need a little more room there, so I got 4/12 times 6/14. I like that 6 goes into 6 once and to 12 twice. 4 and 14 are both divisible by 2, and I get 2 and 7. Oh, and then interesting, I got a 2 and a 2 on the top over here. I can reduce that even more to 1 and 1. And now I end up with 1 over 7 as my probability for number 1. Okay, so go ahead and answer 2, 3, and 4, and then check the solutions with mine. See how you've done. All right, there are the answers for 1 through 4. I did put number 2 up here, number 3 is here, number 4 is here. Now let's go ahead and do the written exercises down below. All right, so each spinner is spun once. So here's one spinner, here's a second spinner. What's the probability that I spin this one and I get a 1? There's a 1 here is 1 out of 4 possibilities. And then an A, and the A here, there's one A, and then there's B, 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 C, so there's 1 out of 5 possibility on this. So we got 1/4 times 1/5 is what we're going to get, and that's going to end up with 1/20 when I do that work. All right, and there's my work. Now, can you go ahead and do 2 through 7 and then check with my answers here? All right, so here's the answers in here. Just remember that, we have to know what our vowels are, and we have the A's, and then the B's and the C's are consonants. We've got 1 through 6 over here. We've got number 7 over here as our answers. And then let's go on to the next one here, number 8. A coin is tossed and then a die is rolled. Find the probability for each of the following. What's the probability in the coin that we get heads? And then the probability on the die that we get a 6. So the probability of getting heads is 1 out of 2. There's either heads or tails. And then getting a 6, there's only one of those out of 6 on there. So we multiply those and we will get 1 out of 12. Go ahead and do 8 through 15 and then check your answers back here. All right, go ahead and take a look at those answers and check yours and make some corrections if you need to. And then let's go on to, go ahead and let's read the last one for yourself and go ahead and answer 16 through 20 on your own. And then check back. All right, there's the answers. Check and make any corrections that you need to. Or if you found any of my mistakes, then let's have a discussion and make sure everybody else knows where I made a mistake. All right, go ahead and do this last page here on your own, and then check back your answers with me after when you're done. All right, here's the answers for 1 through 6. I didn't have room right here to finish off for number 7 here, but let's go ahead and do that one together here. What's the probability that a person picked a random will be under the age of 18? So we've got a 1 out of 4 probability of that. And live in an urban area, 4 out of 5, okay? All right, so we are going to simply multiply those numbers together. Those two do not necessarily affect each other there. So we're going to have a 1 out of 4 chance times a 4 out of 5 chance. And we can go ahead and reduce that. These 4s will reduce, and so it's a 1 in 5 chance that somebody is under the age of 18 and is coming from an urban area.